I think it's so important for young folks to know that the world is theirs, right? Don't take for granted that the courthouse or that those positions of the teacher or superintendent, that's for somebody else. Rather than just living in the world, then they can become part of the world. That's what chess and community does.
Life is like a game of chess. Every move you make has a reaction, and you should be prepared for that action. Thinking before you move it's like a way of living, you know? It's getting you to understand that every action has a consequence.
It's so much more than just chess. It's a learning opportunity. It's an experience. It's a movement that you just feel so great being a part of.
I love chess and community. I think it's a vital organization within our community. This is definitely one of those groundbreaking organizations that's really making an impact in our kids' lives.
We see what generational trauma, we see what is taking place in this community and many communities with youth violence, with lack of resources. I'm a poet. That's where I find my energy, my life, my calling is poetry. But I realized that poetry alone wasn't going to do it. When I got into the Department of Juvenile Justice, I was able to see a lot of the youth that was just kind of caught and stuck in this cycle. And that's when I said, you know what? I got to figure out a way to have these kids see how systems around them work. And I figured that chess was the best tool that we can use in that space. So it was like, yo, you're a warrior, but you got to be a warrior for the light. You got to be a warrior for the good thing, man. Don't be used as a pawn on this chessboard. Let me show you a different way of looking at the world through a chess game. How does the systems around you work? How does the systems around you operate? How does each piece on that chessboard correlate with something you're experiencing in your neighborhood, in your community, in your life? If I can get you to think 5, 10 moves ahead on the board, then I can translate that to your day-to-day. What's your 5-year plan? What's your 10-year plan? You want to be a pawn on somebody's chessboard. So you better know how to move. You better learn how the pawn moves and how you can graduate into something different. After a while, it grew to the point where it was like, I couldn't see all of these young men in 1 week. Because after a while, it was like 30 kids, 40 kids come in. And it was like, okay, we got something here.
Programming is essential. We need more programming to expose kids to things that they may not otherwise be exposed to. Doing what I do, I see a lot of kids that may not ever get the chance to leave Clark County. There are other things in the world that they can experience and engage in and be a part of and give them exposure to a skill set that, you know, may change their lives.
We all had different life experiences. Some of them were really deep caught up into the DJJ system. Some of them didn't know what it was. At the end of the day, I think we all had some type of hope. Though chess was the medium used, life really opened me up to a lot of experiences. Even traveling, I had never been out of Georgia at the time. And just going to DC and meeting other young Black people who were interested in the same things that I was interested in was amazing to me.
I feel like this organization brought me so many different opportunities. We had the entrepreneurship camp and I was able to lead my group twice and win first place. I think it helped push my drive for being in the business world and entrepreneurship world.
You don't have really many Black people in STEM. So for this program to even introduce something like that, especially here in this town, was revolutionary.
I don't even understand coding, but to see them smile and have a good time and compete, and of course win money at the end, that made my heart full.
The kids are building the robots, coding robots, and programming those robots to move chess pieces, right? So we keep the chess as the theme, and how do we use that thought process to expand and build upon our community? What are the plans around you? What's the plan for the Clark County? So now we're gonna go to mayors and commissioners meeting where they can sit down and they can see who's your commissioner, what district do you live in, who hires and fires the police, who hires and fires the city manager, and show that you sit on top of that pyramid because it's your tax dollars that keeps everything functioning. But when you don't understand that, then you don't see yourself as having power. It's one thing when we're developing kids, but after you develop these kids, after you give them these skill sets, how and when do we actually get to see it in practice? So the conference was something that we designed as a way we're going to develop the kids throughout the years, through debates, through public speaking, and by the time for the conference, they now have to lead the conference. And all of that is part of them being in these spaces. So in the future, when you're in college, and you have to, it's like, I'm used to this, because I've been doing this since middle school.
Just working with this program has been a growing experience for me, as far as learning how to intelligently have a conversation, learning how to manage my own finances, learning what trust funds were, NFTs, you know what I'm saying, stock, Bitcoin.
We have about 13 places that want to get Chester community online in those cities. We barely have the funding to develop it here. That is going to change. And over the next 10 years, we want to raise enough resources so that we're able to duplicate what we're doing in multiple cities, and all roads lead back to Athens. So while we're making a great impact now on youth, on our community, imagine the impact we can have with full funding.
You can't be selfish. This is not selfish work. This is kind of like God work. If you care about the community, if you love the kids, how can you not do something, right?
Welcome to Chess Community 5.0. The last 10 years with Chess Community was a lot of in-person development. Debates, chess, meeting at the libraries, meeting throughout the community. The next 10 years, as you can see, we're going to engage our youth in the mixed reality, metaverse, virtual reality space. Why is this important? This is going to allow us to link all of our communities in this space where the kids can learn to play chess together. And at the same time, we will get opportunity to debate with those kids in these spaces. Our kids will learn how to engage the metaverse responsibly, and most important, they will learn how to build these worlds. The future is now. We have to be a part of the change. We cannot allow our communities to get left behind in this new revolution. Be a part of the change, support us in that process, join our team, be a part of the action. Welcome to Chess Community 5.0 in the metaverse.